It's the Hip Hop School.
It's that time.
Past and present podcast.
It's that time.
All regions stand up.
On your feet.
North, south,
everywhere.
east,
Where you at?
and west,
Huh?
Midwest.
You
Where you
know
at?
the rule.
Act a fool. You gotta be tight with your tool when you go to the Hip Hop School. Big grown in the grind called Primo Fur and Deja Rude, child. Get out your feelings, you get booed at the Hip Hop School. You know the rule. Act a fool. You gotta be tight with your tool when you go to the Hip Hop School. Nigga can't be mad cause you got swag and easy cool. Bitch, I'm a motherfucking problem. Knowledge rule at the Hip Hop School. You know the rule. Act a fool. You gotta be tight with your tool when you go to the Hip Hop School. Can't look like that cause mental son got artifacts. The truth is cruel, but that's just fuel at the Hip Hop School. Past and present.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Hip Hop School Past and Present podcast. I am Deasia, the assistant principal. Our principal, Supreme Rahi, is out for tonight.
Somewhere crying, laid up crying somewhere.
Man, sick and shut in. You got Heezy, the dean of all things hip hop, and Josh Prince, the counselor in the building. How y'all doing tonight, fellas?
Happy Cinco De Mayo.
Oh, yes, God. I know we can do it tonight.
I ain't drinking shit. I ain't drinking shit but water.
Drink no more. Man, shout out, big up.
I done retired, man. I'm in the 2-year retirement right now. You feel me?
Damn, 2 years, man.
Hey,
that's what's up. I'm proud of you.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Hate to be you, champ.
It's good, baby. It's good. It's all good.
Yeah, man. You know, I'm just a weekend warrior. Every now and then on the weekend, I give me a shot. It's really bad for you. Y'all stay healthy, drink your water, eat your watermelons, and stay away from drugs and alcohol. Like Webby say, stay in school.
And with that being said, we're gonna start this thing off with our hip hop trivia question. This week's hip hop trivia question is brought to you by our sponsor, Supreme's Pull Up, Art by Chung G, the Uhuru Academy, Lit and Leisure Travel in the Death of Deasia. This week's hip hop trivia question is: who was the first Latino artist to go platinum? Again, who was the first Latino artist to go platinum? Y'all try to answer that down below in the comments. We will reveal the answer at the end of the show. With that being said, class is in session.
Let's do it.
Before we get things started and get it popping, you know, we do have to take a moment and send some prayers, some warm currents and vibrations to Jamie Foxx. Allegedly, Jamie Foxx is now in a medically induced coma. So hopefully, you know, they do what needs to be done in order to bring him back. So the family is being very tight-lipped about what is going on, rightfully so, to protect his privacy and everything. But regardless of what we're not trying to pry over here to figure out what it is. We just know that he's not well from our last update. So if that is the case, you know, we just want to, you know, send our prayers and warm vibrations to the family.
Shout out to Jamie Foxx, man. I know he's still around, man. Hope he pull through. You know what I mean? Hope this don't be known.
Prayers and vibrations in his way, man. Good humble cat.
Yeah, and his daughter has been doing a really good job with, you know, maintaining everything and making sure she maintained his privacy and everything. So I definitely can respect that.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, yeah. Well, moving right along, you know, since we're speaking about fathers, we might as well go ahead and talk about Brian McKnight. Brian McKnight has gone viral because he is recognizing his stepchildren by a white woman. He recognized his stepchildren by the white woman, and he said that, you know, I think his stepkids is the one that made him a girl dad. And he has kids out of his own. He has biological children,
right,
that he's not actually acknowledging. So I guess it's some type of rift with him and his children.
I don't know about, you know, this the first time I'm really hearing that since you brought it up on the show. But I seen a Brian McKnight show about, I don't know, it's probably damn near 10 years ago, and he had, I believe, 2 of his sons with him at the show. You know what I'm saying? Like performing with him, like singing and, you know what I'm saying, like background type shit. So
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So I
it
know at
wasn't
some point, you know what I mean, he was around and doing this thing.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know.
I remember he came out one time and was saying that basically in a nutshell that they were entitled.
I do remember hearing something like that too. I remember hearing something probably a few years ago. I remember hearing something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, and then too, a lot of people forget, man, when your kids get older and you have younger kids, it ain't like you disregarding your older kids, but it's like your new life for your younger kids. You kind of, you know what I'm saying? Because like I'm a what they say, I have an old man baby. You know what I'm saying? You know, when they say you get old, I have a infant and I'm 42. So I have older kids, and on my social media, people notice that, you know, I have my youngest son on there more than I have my older kids because they not around most of the time. And, you know, and most people that just now getting acquainted with me, they'll be like, oh, is that your only son? But I have a junior. He older. He every now and then he in the picture. So sometimes I think people might look too deep into stuff. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to artists.
Yeah, well, hell, when you start saying that this child made me a girl dad, and you had a girl before, then that's
maybe before he was on tour and he didn't get to spend that time with that first girl, and this girl right here, actually, he got the bond with and do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think again, like people be read more into stuff. Like we seen him with his children when like
Josh,
10,
I feel like you're not reading enough into it if you're saying that it's okay to say that these second batches of kids is what made you a girl dad.
I mean, I love my son. My son is a junior. He older, right? So at that point in my life when I was raising him and I was there from day one with him, it's different now with my baby son because I'm older and I'm more mature, and it's a lot of things that he making me more than what my junior did. Don't mean I love my junior no lesser. It's just that now that I'm old and I got time, I ain't in the streets, I ain't running around trying to do whatever, and I spend more time with him and get that actual he creating like a different bond, you know what I'm saying? And it's different. Like I say, like I don't think he love his. See, a lot of times you got some celebrities don't even put their kids on social media. It'd be one kid, like 50 Cent and his children, right? He plexing with one son, but then the younger son getting more. But he did the same thing with Marcus when he was a young kid. If you look back, he used to have him at shows. He kept him with him, and it's like I say, maybe I am looking at it different, but I think sometimes
the thing in this particular case, I get what you're saying as far as you know your relationship, your bond, and everything will be different because you're different. You know, in different stages of your life. However, in this particular case, he's completely disregarding the other kids. It's not a thing where it's a matter of like, their bond.
Second time around is the charm. Fuck them other kids. I'm not saying this, but he might be that way.
Child.
Hey, Brian, do better, man. Just do better, man. Do better, because you can't do that.
Anyway, so Finesse 2 times, he ended up having his brother playing as a stunt double. Now it's funny looking at Finesse 2 times. I want to know how the brother looked because I ain't know you know what I'm saying. I would hate to look very similar to Finesse 2 times.
Listen, Deasia, watch this here. It's finna mess you up. I gotta show you how the brother look. Watch this here.
So hold on, let me finish what I'm the story. Go look it up. So Finesse 2 times had his brother acting as a stunt double at his concert. So instead of Finesse 2 times coming to his concert, he sent his brother to act as a stunt double. Now, Akon has been said to do this before with his brother, but they look very similar. So I'm curious to know how Finesse 2 times brother look, you know, and if he got the same. Remember when Finesse 2 times had that grill when he first got out of jail, the way his grill was all chopped up or whatever the case may be. I wonder if, you know, he inherit the Finesse 2 time grill and he got his fix exactly like it or not. How he look? You got a picture of Josh?
I'm trying to pull it up. That's the brother. Hold on. Let me see if I can get it in the frame.
Okay. Oh, that's him?
That's the brother?
Yeah, that's the brother. He do look just like him.
Look like Finesse 2 times.
Brother, they damn near could pass for twins, man.
Okay, but the brother, oddly enough, the brother looked kind of cute.
Let me see if I can get in there good in the camera.
Yeah, they do just look. He looked just like that nigga for real. But you know, do he got the tattoo? You know, is he built like it? You know what I'm saying?
No. Look. This how they tried to get the people. He wore a mask.
Oh shit!
He wore a Pooh
Fred.
Shiesty mask.
Oh, that's crazy.
Damn.
The
Hey,
man,
finesse.
finesse though.
I was just about to say that he tried to finesse it, but I heard they tried to finesse him. That's why he did that, because supposedly they ain't give him all his bread. I don't know what's up with finesse
It
sometimes in
was
these
two
shows.
stories out. He said he had some unforeseen circumstances happen. Maybe he got into some legal issues. The laws hemmed him up, and he was trying to accommodate his fans. So he sent his brother in with the Pooh Shiesty mask on, who damn near looked like him, and to try to accommodate him and make sure everything was good. And he got caught up in the finesse. But man, listen, hey man, hey man, say. Man,
he tried it.
One time, man. I can't.
He tried it.
That's that Memphis. Listen, that's that Memphis shit, though. You know what I'm saying? They slick. That's that Memphis shit. They slick. Hey,
Memphis shit, yeah.
I mean, if he would, I mean, look, Akon do it, and it's a lot of stars. You'd be surprised that do it. You know what I'm saying? Akon, he got jammed up doing it. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you go. Get somebody else to do it.
Kanye, they say Kanye done did it. You know what I'm saying? He had,
I think a lot of
and shit like that.
do it.
I mean, but if you had a twin brother or you had a brother that kind of similar look like, you gotta sometime be like, man, look, I got a show over here and a show over there. I need both. I need that money. But man, go on over there and do that for me, man. Like, damn, because they do look alike. It ain't like he was trying to just.
But do they sound alike? You know what I'm saying? That's another thing too. Can he sound like him? Can he rap like him? You know, do he know all the? You know what I'm saying?
9 times out of 10, I'm sure he does, because most Memphis people sound alike.
That's true.
And
too.
then they probably have the song playing, the track playing as he performs.
Yeah,
that's another thing. Yeah.
The thing is he built like, because finesse.
That's what I was saying.
Bell pepper. So it kind of got now they look alike. Now they can't be. It's
Humpty Dumpty built ass nigga.
Yeah, he'll funny
like Humpty Dumpty.
So it kind of, that's probably why they gave it away. His brother come out all swollen. Come on, what you been? Damn, you done been in the gym these last couple of weeks, ain't it, man?
Like a sack of water, a bag of nickels,
a sack of potatoes.
Look, but anyway, so let's go ahead and get into our main topic tonight. Our main topic is about the Latino influence in hip hop. What's the guy named the colorful dude?
What you talking about? Who?
Tekashi
6ix9ine. So first we want to start off talking about Tekashi 6ix9ine. He decided to take it upon himself and claim hip hop as and say that hip hop is Latino culture as well. He was basically saying that they actually started hip hop. You get
right? I mean,
and I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I mean that argument been around. It seemed like for the last year or two. You know what I'm saying? Fat Joe said something like that too. You know, it been a lot of people from New York a lot of New York MCs who was there from the beginning to kind of, you know what I'm saying, said, yeah, they was right there with us as far as, like the break dance and the graffiti, especially, you know what I'm saying? Like as far as the rapping and shit like that, I don't know if they was, you know what I'm saying? I don't think they was a part of the actual rap. Of course they weren't part of rapping because a lot of the motherfuckers couldn't speak English. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? I think as far as the graffiti and the break dance and all that kind of shit, I would say that's probably there. Yeah, I would say that's probably there at the beginning and shit. But Tekashi though, you know what I'm saying? I think he trying to say some other shit. You know how he is. I think he kind of trolling, you know what I'm saying, saying that, you know what I'm saying, that this his shit too, that's they shit too. But them motherfuckers listen to a lot of Spanish music. You know what I'm saying? If you ever been around them motherfuckers' houses and they complexes and shit, you hearing all that carnival music, circus music all the time and shit. So they ain't really listening to hip hop like that. You know what I'm saying? It might be a few.
Too, they're in New York, right? And so you have a lot of people from different places there. So it's not
right.
It's without question that they were there during the inception of hip hop. That's without question. You get what I'm saying?
Too. Yeah, Jamaicans too.
Yeah. So I think Tekashi 6ix9ine was more so doing it to troll, and I think that Tekashi 6ix9ine was doing it as well because he has gone under fire for using the N-word, and I think that making statements like that people try to say statements like that to justify the usage of the N-word when they're not actually African American.
That's a good point.
Damn good point.
And but like you were saying, that's in New York. You know what I'm saying? I know probably in Texas too. They probably got a large, Hispanic population. But here in
Oh
Detroit,
yeah.
man, Detroit, that ain't really around. They in like one area of the city. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, motherfuckers don't be around here like that.
I think if we go back to hip hop, like really like where Latino actually the influence in hip hop really started, like heavy. I'm reminded of Kid Frost. You dig what
I
I'm
was just
saying?
about to say West Coast. The West
So
Coast was
on
there
the
just as
West,
much.
they kind of picked up that, because like they had the low riders, they had the swag down the slang. Whereas to New York, their contribution was the graffiti in the breakdancing.
Right.
And if you really want to rewind back in time, graffiti and breakdancing did have a large impact and influence on hip hop when it first came out. For as like what is Crush Groove, all that there. So you always had that it was like you had that combination. You know what I'm saying? That's what Afro Americans and Latino Americans kind of combined and mixed and came in the flow with each other doing hip hop, because we had the flow, the lyrics, they had the break dancing, and you know what I'm saying, the artwork, graffiti, and it kind of made the culture. Before it's rap, nah, player. We started that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's the part that I think that he was more so speaking about, because when these younger cats, when they're talking about hip hop, they're not thinking about all of the elements of hip hop. They're talking about rap. When they it's synonymous to them. It's hip hop and then it's rap. It's synonymous to them. Whereas they don't realize that hip hop is the culture, rap is the element of that culture.
Yeah. And then you got things like break dance. Niggas don't break dance. You know what I'm saying? And
but back then, when hip hop first came, it was a thing, because like everybody had their little cardboard boxes.
Even out here, everywhere.
I remember even in Texas, like on Juneteenth, man, you better bring your cardboard box. You're gonna have K104 at the over here at the rec center and over here at Sycamore Park, and you're gonna get down. You're gonna spin on your head and do all that there. You know what I'm saying? Like breakdancing was big, and I think like the foundation of hip hop, the culture, man, breakdancing and the DJing, it kind of made way for the MCs.
So let me ask y'all
complimented them.
Let me ask y'all
okay, I'm gonna use that word, complimenting them.
Yeah. Let me ask y'all this. Who do y'all think is one of the most influential Latino rappers that's out there?
Rappers? Shit. Right now, it's fucking Tekashi 6ix9ine, probably right.
Nah,
I say he's the most popular right now, but as far as
Cardi B,
when I say actually influence and impact,
Cardi B is more popular than 6ix9ine, and she is also she's also more influential. Tekashi is really his
he got a
what
fan
he
base.
gave hip hop. He just was a troll, really. You know what I'm saying?
He got a fan base though.
His fan base was built off of trolling. You know what I'm saying? Doing all that old goofy shit. I can honestly say Cardi B, even though she a female rapper, and a lot of times females don't get the credit that they duly deserve, she done broke barriers. She came in, I'm talking about she got hit after hit. She got hit, I'm talking about, and then like she made other female rappers respect her. She got like she came in and became an icon. You know what I'm saying? That's just like right now, Cardi B is considerably an icon of female rappers, you know what I'm saying? And she Hispanic. So and he just known for being a snitch and troll. He had a couple of good hits, but he came in the game. He known for beefing and trolling. He didn't really he ain't gave nothing to hip hop besides making snitching cool.
Snitching.
You dig what I'm saying? Cardi B actually came in and she broke records. You know what I'm saying? Like she actually came in and actually made a statement. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I can't agree with that. Like Cardi B, like right now, influence as far as, you know what I'm saying, Hispanic, it gotta be Cardi.
Yeah, and I think to your point, Josh, she actually opened up the door for the new wave of the female rappers as well.
Yeah,
because for a minute it was just Nicki dominating, and Cardi came in, and we were able to see her personality. We were able to, watch her story for going from rags to riches, grind from the bottom to the top, and people really fell in love with her personality and everything. And then she started to blow up in rap, and when she did that, she brought other girls along with her.
And she also brought that competitiveness back for females. You know what I'm saying? She made it where females had to compete, like the Megs and all this. You had to come in, and it's like you either Nicki, Cardi, Meg. You know what I'm saying? Remy. Now we competing. Like now we having a comparison. Is you better than Nicki? Well, okay. Is you better than Cardi? You dig what I'm saying? So now it becomes a competition, and the competition becomes heated because like she actually got something along with these other top tier females that's in the game right now. So man, like shout out to Carter. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What y'all think about Fat Joe? You know what I'm saying? I don't know if he influential like that, but he had a few hits like, you know what I'm saying, Make It Rain and shit like that.
Nah, even the way he came in with Big Pun in the Terror Squad. You gotta think that's probably the most popular Hispanic squad. You dig what I'm saying? And we also missing another artist who real influential in hip hop.
Cypress
Hill.
Hill.
I was gonna say Cypress Hill when they Hispanic.
Yeah, I'm finna throw one out there for you though. He was real influential. He came in rugged. He cleaned himself up. He became an icon, a global icon. Pitbull.
Yeah.
Pitbull. You know what I'm saying? He came in rugged and he switched his style and became a commercial artist. And he was so appealing to both sides. He started wearing suits and just being so smooth. So you know what I'm saying? Like, and he come from Miami with that. At first, he was on that Pitbull type shit. But who was his ear?
But what you think about niggas like Pitbull though, who kind of come in on some rap shit? You know what I'm saying? Mainly on some rap shit. Then they kind of cross over once they get their fan base up, and they just start doing just straight up.
I mean, hands off because like if I come in and I'm on some rap shit and somebody whispers to my ear or I peep something and say, hey, look, if I clean myself up, shit, I can get all the pie instead of one slice. I can get the best. I can be the best of both worlds. You know what I'm saying? It's just like that's like Flow Rider.
Is that a culture vulture though? Is that a culture vulture just like white motherfuckers? Is that?
I mean, then we had to call Flow Rider a culture vulture. He came in, he had a certain style. He
still got a black audience. You know what I'm saying? It's just more commercial. You know what I'm saying?
But he went commercial.
Pitbull went straight up to the other side, like fucking with his people when he started over here.
I mean, but he came in with I think ultimately when he came in, he had that Mexican plug type vibe about himself. I fuck with you. I fuck with y'all, but shit, you know, I'm over here because even when I'm rapping, I'm still rapping in Spanish on some of my raps. You know what I'm saying? So he came in being himself. The only thing he cleaned up for us himself, he got that Miami Vice look about him. He started wearing suits instead of coming in with the gangster Mexican plug. I'm gonna come in as the gangster Mexican businessman plug. You dig what I'm saying? I didn't really cross over. I just cleaned myself up a little bit. You know what I'm talking about?
But you know what? I'm a add to that because it could be a slippery slope and the lines could get blurred because with someone like Pitbull that came in and he's rugged, he raw or whatever, and then he started to cater more towards a certain particular audience. I look at it like this. He came into the game the way he felt like he needed to come into the game. Because hip hop is rap is a competitive sport. So you gotta come in strong, you gotta come in hard, right?
Right.
But I can't knock somebody who they acknowledging their actual culture and they find a way in order to merge the two in order to be successful and bridge those gaps. So I can't be mad at that because in one breath we'll say, hey, you know, this person is inauthentic because they trying to act a certain way. But once they start fusing and putting their culture into it, I can't knock them for that. So because I like that, I like to hear that flair that comes with that other culture. You know, when you have Ayo gasoline, you know what I'm saying? But it got that hip hop feel to it where I could vibe to it. And I can enjoy it. And also they're paying homage to their culture as well. So with that, I can't get mad at that, you know, and
that's kind of like what Nori had did too. You know, he came in on some straight up thug hip hop shit, and then he switched over to that reggaeton shit for a minute. But it really didn't work out for him. I think he had a couple hits with it, but it ain't really work out for him.
But see, Pitbull kind of different though, because you got
that's what I was saying.
Pitbull came from Miami. So when he first came in, he really he had that, like I say, he had that smooth swag, that smooth
Man,
Miami
he's
SA swag
fine.
about himself.
Yeah.
The only thing he did was he kind of started wearing suits and shit. He never switched, even in his suit. He still was that crunk Miami. I gotta say it's different with him because like Miami SA is kind of different. You know what I'm saying? Like they already come in with, hey, puppy, you know what I'm saying? They already got their swag, that different kind of swag that blend in with our swag. So it's kind of like, I don't think he kind of was a culture vulture. I think he kind of came in with his Miami swag. Only thing he switched up was his attire and he started doing business. He made it's like, I'm gonna take it from streets to business. You dig what I'm saying? So he didn't come in trying to be black. He came in being a crunk Mexican. You know what I'm saying? Like he was speaking Spanish, rapping. It just so happened that, you know, I blend in with blacks. I'm from Miami. Then I'm not just from the regular Miami. You know what I'm saying? I'm from Dade. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been doing this in the streets. So he came in doing what he was supposed to do, and he just it kind of he matured. He didn't
and then we got to keep in mind that, you know, you have a lot of these people are Afro Latinos. You get what I'm saying? So I don't feel as though it's really possible for them to be quote unquote a culture vulture just off the sense of their culture is different. You get what I'm saying? I don't think it's that, because I feel as though a person that's born over here in America can and they could be black and they could also be a culture vulture. Depends on how they go about doing things. Because honestly, for example, I feel like DJ Academics is a culture vulture. You get what I'm saying? He black. Well, I think that nigga I think he wasn't born over here though, was he? He was he black, but he was I think he's Jamaican or something.
He from Jamaica.
Yeah, but I think that, you know, he's still black, but he was just born somewhere else, and it seems like, you know, he seemed to be a culture vulture to me. But
hey, but
somebody in the comments,
I was just about to say that. I was about to say that.
said in the comments, he was like, everything cool, but they need to stop saying the N-word though. What y'all feel about them saying the N-word?
Hey, because I was just about to say Fat Joe, you know, there's a lot of controversy about Fat Joe, you know what I'm saying that shit recently and shit. But Fat Joe always been saying it. So me personally, you know, I don't really I mean, I ain't really had a problem with that. You know, Big Pun been saying and Fat Joe been saying that I'd listen to the motherfuckers. I feel like, you know what I'm saying, if you come from that culture and motherfuckers around you and the motherfuckers you've been around accept it, then you know what I'm saying, what can I really say? They ain't white. And like you said, they Afro Latinos, you know what I'm saying, a lot of them too. So you know what I mean?
It don't bother me when anybody say the N-word, long as they if you are if you're not white and you say the N-word, it don't bother me. That's just like, here it is, this Cinco de Mayo. Guess what? Cinco de Mayo celebration of them defeating the French. All of us, anybody that is not white in some white places or whatever. I mean, everybody has been impacted by them colonizers. You know what I'm saying? So for me, even though our struggle is different and what we experience is different or what have you, I mean, we grow up in the hood with people that's Mexican, Hispanic, whatever the case may be. We grow up in the same hoods with these.
There's always a bunch of mixed motherfuckers around.
Yeah, so like for me, that don't bother me. Now, if it's to the point where you saying it in a derogatory, because you know you got a lot of Hispanics they be they feel like they want to be close to white and they act like they some white people or whatever.
They don't
now, if you saying it in that way and we understand the tone, if you using it in a derogatory manner, then I got a problem with you when you kind of like calling a nigga with the ER on it. You get what I'm saying?
With the heavy ER,
yeah. Now that's when I got a problem. But other than that, I mean, it don't bother me. It actually to this point, how y'all feel about this since we own this, and it's a little bit off the subject. You know, when you have a white person, they'll be rapping lyrics to a song that uses those words, but then if they were to say the N word, black people will get mad, but the word is in the lyrics. How y'all feel about that?
I think it's dumb. I think for us to be so angered or have selective outrage over the word nigga, just don't use it. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna, because like that's just like me. If I come out the store and I say I'm finna kill this bitch ass nigga, I'm no better than a white man saying, hey, nigga, don't get in there, because like my intentions are hateful and hurtful towards another black man. You dig what I'm saying? So when we have that type of conversation, I kind of stay away from it, because like White Mike in the hood said nigga amongst other niggas. You dig what I'm saying? At one time, I used to tell black people, don't call me no nigga. Till I used to get into it so much to where I just kind of like, man, you know what? They don't get it, because I'm not a nigga. A nigga is an ignorant person. So he can be black, white, Mexican, or whatever. I'm not ignorant. And then one time, that's what I carried. If like I used to get into it with my homeboys, because they'd be like, oh man, this nigga here tripping. And I look up like, who a nigga? Because I'm not ignorant.
Right.
I wouldn't give a fuck if you were purple. Don't call me ignorant. And they used to be like, oh, you so aggressive with that shit. And over time, I got calm with it. But I don't give a damn about the word. I'm going to check anybody, you know what I'm saying? Because like I say, I'm going to reiterate what I said. If a black man come out the store and say, I'm finna kill this nigga, versus a white man come out the store saying, nigga, don't get in the car, y'all both have intentions to do some harm to a black man. You dig what I'm saying? Okay. So at the end of the day, the word, if you don't like it, don't say it. If a white man next to me rapping and say, man, yeah, these niggas in there, woo, I ain't gonna look, I probably rap with him. Yeah, these niggas ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? Fuck them. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't have put it in the song, nigga.
No, I feel you. I talked about it. I talked about that shit on one of my homeroom episodes. But the thing about it is, I ain't never been in that situation. I ain't never been like to a concert where it was a bunch of white people and somebody was on stage saying nigga. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know.
But you gotta think the artist.
Hold on. I guess if I was in that situation though, you know what I'm saying? If it was a bunch of white people around, I guess, you know what I'm saying, the motherfucker, they rapping to the song. What the fuck am I supposed to say? You know what I'm saying?
Because you gotta think logically.
I would be uncomfortable though. I would be uncomfortable. I would say that if it was a bunch of white people around, they saying nigga this, saying nigga that. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never been in that situation. Saying
cracker in their raps, that way we can rap in front of white people and say, fuck these crackers, I'm gonna kill these crackers. You dig what I'm saying? That way they can rap along with the lyrics and say, fuck these crackers, I'm gonna kill these crackers.
I'm always,
you know what I'm saying? But you gotta think logically, if a rapper going platinum, right? What's the percentage of black people in the world? So that means it's a bunch of white people buying his album. So they singing along, whether they do it out in the open or whether they do it in the comfort of their home. When he say, fuck them other niggas, yeah, I'm there. They saying it too. Fuck them other niggas. Do they have real? No, they singing the song.
But listen, they do know better though, because if you see them sometimes and there's a bunch of niggas around and there's a song on there, they rap the song, but when it gets to that part, they don't say that shit. You know they do know better.
But you best believe if they ride down the street and they in the car by themselves, they saying it. So fuck it. If they saying it in the car by themselves, I think it all come down to respect and the intention you have behind saying that word. Because I say cracker, you know what I'm saying, man? Fuck these crackers, fuck them other crackers, because I'm down with my niggas. You know what I'm saying? Like fuck them crackers. You know what I'm saying? Like just to get, you know, for shock value. But rappers need to start saying that. Say cracker sometime.
I'm with it.
Yeah, and you know, for me, I look at it like this. If it's in the song and it's part of the lyrics, it is what it is.
If you didn't want everybody saying it, why did you say it? Because you want the goal for a rapper is to get fans. And biggest part of a fan is them knowing your lyrics word for word. So if you didn't want white fans and white people saying this shit, don't say it in the lyrics. And if a black person get mad because this white man rapping, get mad at the artist for putting them lyrics out.
Yeah, and that's my thing. It's more so of if it's in a song, these people rapping, I don't trip off of that. But I used to be real big on the bitch word. If you call, like, I wouldn't even do that amongst friends. Now it's like it's I kind of get it. I don't trip off of it, but I've actually been in like fights because just being around females and they'll be women and they'll be like, bitch, such, and they just playing. I didn't see it that way because of where I come from and how I came up,
right,
where I don't know you, so I don't even do this with my friends, and I only know people that who do it. They cool with the people that they talk like that with. So for me to meet strangers and they talking to me like that, and I don't even do that with my friends, it caused fights because I found it very disrespectful. You get what I'm saying? That's the same way with the N word. I was one of those people that if you said the N word, like, you know how you got some guys, black men, they'll date white women and they'll be sitting around saying the N word all the time or whatever. I done went into somebody's house and the people house that I done went in, the dude, me and my boyfriend, we go to pick up some weed. The weed man had his girl over there. she was white and she was saying the N-word. I done went off on her. I don't even know these folks. You get what I'm saying? I'm in these for a house. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, it's some straightening. You get what I'm saying? It was finna be some.
That's the type of shit I do. That's the type of shit I do.
Yeah, and I've been in real life fights. You know, I done got in a whole fight with a white man because of that and everything. You get what I'm saying? So for me, it was like I took that disrespect. I took that very serious, and I had realized I'm the one crashing out and gonna fuck around and get locked up or hurt. You get what I'm saying? And I realized, okay, these people, they said the N-word and what manner in which they said it. You get what I'm saying? To where it's what they saying it disrespectfully, they just rapping some lyrics. I had to start piping down. Now, in certain cases, you just can't just be freely saying it or calling me that or anything like that. But if you rapping in a song, I gotta give a pass because it's part of the lyrics. But don't, listen, like you said, Josh, don't put it in the lyrics if you don't want them to say it.
Did nobody give me the disclaimer to that? That's a lot of shit that go on in hip hop. It's a lot of shit that go on the streets. Did nobody give me the rule book? Like I got a partner from New Orleans, right? Like I'm very big on the bitch word because, like, you know, hey, I'm a man. Like, don't call me no bitch. But oh man, that bitch, boy, that bitch. Hey, it's kind of like
they say that shit all day.
And he's so cool. I can't be mad at him because I know his culture. And he'll call me and be like, hey, bitch, whoa. And at first I used to, man, what I tell you about that whole ass shit, fool? My bad.
Louisiana, so like, that's where they do that in Louisiana.
They do that. So it's like
men call women, men even talk to women like it's normal. Like they talk to their homegirl. What's up, bitch? Such. That's how
that bitch. And I noticed that he, like, even around his family. So it's like, man, it's one of them things where, like, when you understand the culture, you understand the term, and you understand the intentions. You dig what I'm saying? Because, like I say, with all different words, over my time, over the years, I done fought with arguing niggas about, and I was locked up before. I don't play the booty game, the come on game, none of that. Because, like, when I was in prison, that's what niggas be. They play that game. They come, oh, bitch ass nigga, boy, you shoot, man, he's something. You got niggas that play. I'm talking about killers that play with each other like that. And at one point in time, I'm like, man, hey, nigga, I done got into a fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't play with me like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, I don't do all that there. Then I had a homeboy I was so cool with. I'm coming down the bowl and like, oh, bitch ass nigga done put flower all on his high side and laughing. And it's like, you know, it's one of the things as you grow and you mature, you understand the tone, you understand the nature behind the word, and you understand the intentions. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But check this out, though. Check this out. The thing about it is you don't hear white rappers saying nigga though. You feel what I'm saying? So that's something too. So they, you know what I'm saying? So it's like kind of like a slippery kind of.
They know, I can't say this. Hold on. I seen one on battle rap, and the man told him, "Don't say that again." And he had like he was from the hood.
I seen him get knocked out.
Yeah, it's a difference between.
I seen him. He was like, "Man, nigga, I ain't on all that therefore."
Yeah, it's a difference between them putting in the rap and them actually rapping lyrics that's been already written.
Right.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's just a whole funny dynamic, just the whole shit. You know what I'm saying?
And I wanna circle back to Fat Joe real quick, and then I'm gonna ask you guys another question before we get into our recess session. I really feel as though Fat Joe think he's more important than what he really is. You know, Fat Joe and Nori, they both kind of rub me the same. Where they almost they have over exaggerated or extended their position in hip hop. And I'm like y'all. I mean, y'all cool and everything, you know, don't get me wrong, but all at the same time.
Yeah, you ain't no spokesman.
I mean, wasn't nobody really checking for Fat
Joe.
No,
you gotta with Joe, man.
Let me finish real quick.
Finish.
Wasn't nobody really checking for Joe for real. They was checking for like Eric when they bring up like any name or albums, all that kind of stuff. They talk about Big Pun. Nori. He really never ever did anything particularly spectacular to me. But when you look at their podcasts and their shows and the way they talk about and the way the things that has transpired throughout hip hop and their position and where they was at and their connections with different people, it seems as though they think they're more important than what they really are due to their association with people who have actually reached a certain level of greatness that they have not obtained.
They damn near act like they Vlad.
Yeah.
Man, listen, I gotta, hey, look, I agree with you. I'm with you when you're right. But man, when it comes to Fat Joe, though, like a lot of people be sleeping on Fat Joe to the point that, man, like y'all gotta realize, man, that nigga came in with a squad, the terror squad. Like he was like the Diddy.
He came in with the
he was like the,
before that.
He was like the Diddy of Hispanics in hip hop. I wasn't just no bad rapper, but I put together some good shit. You dig what I'm saying? Like you got to realize Ashanti, when she was making them hits with Ja Rule, when they had their airplane in the early 2000s, and a lot of this, man, he was responsible for a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying?
He was
a lot of times people kind of sleep on the influence that Fat Joe had, that he kind of, the connection he had with the Puerto Ricans and bringing the blacks together. And like I say, that Terror Squad, man, at one time, Terror Squad was popping. Like for real, the culture. At one time, when you step up in the club and you was really on and feeling yourself, I make it rain, and you know what I'm saying? Like, say, lean back. They really put on for New York. You know what I'm saying? In the early 2000s, Terror Squad really, and Fat Joe had a lot of influence, and he had a lot of shit to do with that shit, man. Like with Murder Inc., that's like Irv Gotti and them. They ain't fully black people. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah,
that like I don't. How can I say it? Like sometimes I don't like the fact that he's so cocky, but then I gotta bring in remembrance the reason why he is so cocky, because he did play a big part in that transition during that time to where, like, man, like look at Remy Ma, like all them people, like Fat Joe is responsible for a lot of good shit. That Terror Squad, and then Terror Squad back then, it was the name was that Terror Squad. It's like shit. Okay, we essays over here, but don't fuck with us because we gonna burn your ass.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you something. Oh, go ahead.
I actually think that I get what you're saying, but I feel as though that impact was crystallized in history. Like it's one of those things similar to like the Source magazine. It was a moment, it was a big thing, and it was a big deal, but it just stayed there. I don't feel as though whatever Fat Joe did transcended generations or anything like that. It was that moment in time, and it was just there, and it was just that.
But the reason
you gotta take a walk back down memory lane or whatever the case may be to even try to comprise all of what Fat Joe has done.
The reason you feel that way because you're not a Hispanic.
Generations.
That's because you're not a Hispanic. You know what I'm saying? So we're looking at it from a black standpoint, but it's
even
Hispanics.
From Hispanic.
Okay, but it's Hispanics that look at Fat Joe like, I got introduced to hip hop through Fat Joe. In modern times,
ain't no Hispanic got introduced to no hip hop through Fat Joe.
How you know?
Because it's hip hop and they Hispanic. It's like especially Afro Latino.
No. It's a lot of Puerto Ricans that started liking hip hop.
Said they was there in the beginning.
But it's a lot of Puerto Ricans that started liking hip hop because of that Terror Squad moment. You know what I'm saying? That very moment, it's like me. I fell in love with hip hop at a moment. It's somebody I can go back and say, at this moment, this artist right here made me cherish hip hop and start embracing the culture. It's a lot of Hispanics that say during that moment when Fat Joe led the army, because Big Pun and all them, we wouldn't know them if it wasn't for Fat Joe. When he led there with the Terror Squad and he created this squad of people that came in the industry at that time, it's a lot of people that latched on to hip hop, Hispanics, because of Fat Joe. You know what I'm saying? And that's why he pop his shit the way he pop his shit. And from a black standpoint, yeah, we looking at it like, oh yeah, the SA, he ain't did shit, but it's some Mexicans and Cubans and Dominicans somewhere to say, hey, man.
I'm not saying that he didn't do anything. What's up, Supreme in the comments? I'm not saying that he didn't do anything. What I'm saying is I think that he can kind of over exaggerate and extend what it is that he did. That's I mean, as a person.
At one time, Terror Squad was a bridge, and to cross that bridge to kind of, you know what I'm saying, to bring shit together, and you had to go through Terror Squad. At a time in hip hop when you had the Rough Riders, you had Terror Squad, you had Bad Boy, you know what I'm saying?
Who was going through Terror Squad though, Josh?
I mean, in New York, for you to cross over to get that Dominican and Puerto Rican, and you see, this is the thing. This is what we mixing it up. I'm speaking from looking at
Now
New Yorkers
we
look at it,
ain't
right?
weak enough. You the
So
one.
during that time, when certain artists wanted to get that New York, that Hispanic backing, they had to go through Fat Joe and them and go get them features and go fuck with them. You know what I'm saying? That's if that's the case, Terror Squad wouldn't have gained so much momentum back then. You know what I'm saying? Ja Rule had a big, it's just like with the J-Los and stuff like that there. Shit, you had to go through Fat Joe. Really?
So they had this. Those Ja Rule had to go through Fat Joe. And
No, I'm saying to gain that momentum with the Hispanic. Look at all. Hold on, go back when we finish the show. Go back and look at all the features that Ja Rule had back then. He picked up a lot of momentum by getting them Hispanics behind him when he was doing them features with J-Lo, Ashanti. They was under, Ashanti was in Fat Joe camp, back then. You know what I'm saying? Like she was in the favor of Fat Joe. They was, you know what I'm saying? Like
that's not just Fat Joe. Irv Gotti is
Murder
Latino,
Inc.
though.
I understand that, but then you got to look at it as a collective.
Josh, I'm not understanding how you giving Fat Joe props for
because back then, listen. Back then, in the early 2000s, Terror Squad was a force. They was a force. We can't take that from you. They was a force.
So you actually over exaggerating and overextending the same way like Fat Joe.
No, I'm just saying back then they had a moment that they had momentum. And if you go back and look at the videos, you go back and look at the features, you go back in the early 2000s, man, Terror Squad was in that bitch even after Pun.
Okay, so let's stop real quick.
Okay.
Who are the artists signed to Terror Squad? Who are
you had
signed to Terror Squad?
Okay, you had Fat Joe, you had Big Pun, you had Remy Ma, but the affiliation they was kind of blending in with Murder Inc. back then because they was doing when Ashanti was doing a lot of in-house work with Terror Squad. You had J-Lo over there with Terror Squad. You know what I'm saying? It was like he was the godfather at one time.
Murder Inc. was a bigger label than Terror Squad. Then why are you making it seem like Terror Squad was the plug? I'm not.
Listen. Okay, let me go do my due diligence right quick.
Latinos.
Yeah.
Joe, you got Fat Joe, Terror Squad. You got Irv Gotti, Murder Inc. So how is it that Fat Joe had a more impact on
I didn't listen. I'm not saying he had a more impact. And at the time in the early 2000s, if you go do your homework on rap in the early 2000s, the Terror Squad, the way he had built it up and the way he was moving at that time, it was like he was bridging the gap between Puerto Ricans and Dominicans in New York to where like go look at the videos, go look at the influence that he had.
I'm not about to go do this research where you rewriting history.
Okay, you're right. Hey, you're right. Listen, since Supreme's sick tonight, I'm gonna let you win because usually I ride down on y'all, so you ain't got your coat.
Supreme
I'm gonna do that for my boy because he kind of, you know what I'm saying. So I'm gonna let you win tonight.
Yeah, but there's a lot of it's a lot of different Latinos that actually had an impact. You got Fabulous, you got he's Dominican.
Hold on. You asked me earlier. I hate to cut you off. You asked me earlier. I had to go do it. You had Big Pun, Fat Joe, Cuban Link. Now, remember, I said the Dominicans, the Cubans, and all that in New York. And that time, they had a Terror Squad, had a hell of a squad that was bringing, you know what I'm saying? They was bringing some shit together. You know what I'm saying?
Supreme said you a Latin king.
Yeah. I'm from the east side of Fort Worth. Hey, yeah. Kings up. Happy Cinco de Mayo.
Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and get into we're gonna go to recess, but it's a lot of with that being said, it's a lot of rappers out here that are Latino that definitely has had an impact on hip hop. And I think it's a lot of people who are Latino that folks don't even realize, like some that I named, like Fabulous. You got what's the dude name? Az, whatever you call him.
Az. Now back up. Fabulous.
Fabulous is Dominican.
Damn.
You got Fabulous, you got Joel Santana, he's Dominican. It's different artists that they are Latino and they definitely have had an impact on hip hop. Mr. B say he with Josh. I don't know what he with Josh on, but he been down in the comments writing lyrics or whatever. He must be Big Pun reincarnated up in this bitch. Anyway,
listen, Mr. Biggs, you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying.
Yes, indeed. So, Heezy, did you have anything else that you would like to add on the Latino influence on hip hop?
Let's roll.
Yes, indeed. So, with that being said, we're gonna go to recess, y'all. If y'all out there that's watching, y'all like this video, go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're gonna go to recess. Yes, indeed, honey. One moment, let me pull it up.
The men that are available to us, and I'm talking about across the color spectrum, across the age spectrum, trust me, I've done them all, they are not positioned to protect nor provide because of some of the statistics we just talked about. They're not earning the incomes. They're not having the resources, and some of them are not even showing up in the leadership.
Would you date a bus driver? Would you date
if he owns the bus?
Okay, so that's a clip of Ebony K. Williams and Iana Van Zant. And they was having a conversation on the Griot's channel, and Iana Van Zant ended up asking Ebony K. Williams that question, and the internet was set ablaze because people were so pissed because Ebony K. Williams said that she would date a bus driver if he owned the bus. I'm going to start this off, and then I'm going to let you guys speak because I got to give a couple of people a piece, especially Iana Van Zant, wide mouth ass, because she sat up there. No, I'm not trying to be funny. She sat up there, and this didn't have nothing to do with that. It's like it seemed like she almost tried to hem that woman up because the conversation to me went left. I watched the whole thing. She's sitting up here. They having this decent conversation or what have you. And I feel like Iana Van Zant, wide mouth ass, used this lady, tried to put her in a chokehold and use her as an example to make a larger point. And my thing is this. She asked this lady, okay, would you date a bus driver? She said no, if he owns the bus. If that's that lady preference, that's that lady preference. These are three things that irritate the fuck out of me. It may be two if I don't lose my train of thought. One, I get so sick and tired of people get mad at black women for having a preference. It's like if a black woman have a preference, it's a problem. 1 minute we're told if you are not living, if you don't meet this standard of beauty, if you're not this age, if you're not this and you're not that, you shouldn't expect to be able to attract a man that is at a certain level, right? So we get told that you shouldn't be able to. So men are able to be at a certain level. Black men are able to be at a certain level, have a certain standard, and say, hey, this is the type of woman that I'm attracted to, and this is all I'm gonna take and all I'm gonna accept, and the woman has to mold to that. So you have the women are being told, oh, you gotta look like this, you gotta have this, you can't have kids, you can't be overweight, you gotta have a degree, you gotta have shit going for yourself in order to attract this man that is gainfully employed. So now you get a woman, they shit on her. So now you get a woman that is all of those things or whatever. So now she's saying, hey, now I want the man that y'all said that I qualify for. Now you shit on her for saying I want the man that y'all said that I qualify for. Now they shit on her and say, well, the man that you qualify for, he ain't looking for you because you strong, you independent, you got these degrees and everything, and you of a particular age, and he looking for a younger woman. It's like as a black woman, we can't win for losing. You get what I'm saying? And Ebony's point, Iana Van Zant get on my goddamn nerves. But Ebony's point was like, yeah, I would date this guy. I would date a guy that owns the bus. There's nothing wrong with it. Now I can give Ebony a piece and say, hey, she was the way she said it, the way she looked, her body language and everything was like fucked up. But all at the same time, the question was out the blue. The question was ridiculous and shouldn't have been asked because it wasn't even that. Iana, she sat up there to me, I think that Iyanla actually used her as a way, because Iyanla used her as a way in order to make a larger point. I'm gonna tell you something about these people that claim that they got wisdom. You watch somebody like Iyanla Van Zant and you feel like they can't do no wrong. I done grew up around some of the most wise women that you ever want to meet, and just because you wise don't mean that you can't be full of shit. And when you wise, you know how to manipulate situations. And what she did was use that lady in order for her to make a larger point, and got her try to make her look crazy or whatever. Meanwhile, Iyanla Van Zant with her single ass sitting up on podcasts at her big old age, talking about how she'll be in a poly relationship. And I'm like, Iyanla Van Zant, don't nobody want that dry ass pussy that you come with. I wish I would be with a man and he say we decide that we want to open our relationship up and be in a poly relationship, and he go choose dry pussy ass Iyanla Van Zant, and I gotta sit here and watch my man bend her over and dust flying everywhere. No, but you want to sit up here and ask this lady, would you date a bus driver? Iyanla Van Zant, you talking about you would date a couple. So why you trying to school somebody and try to get her to lower her standards because you hopeless at this particular point, you desperate at this particular point that you will go and be with another woman's man because ain't nobody checking for your goat mouth ass? My thing is this here. If Ebony decide that she don't want to date a bus driver, she don't have to date a bus driver. 9 times out of 10, she's not rubbing elbows or coming across a bus driver for him to even be trying to date her. So I'm like, what's wrong with this lady at a certain level deciding that she don't want to match social security numbers with a nigga that's driving a bus? It's not the shit on people that are driving a bus or anything like that, because you need bus drivers. You need people who have trades and things like that. You need that. But the question was her dating preference. That's just like somebody, the way that people be doing black women when we have a dating preference, it's almost like you never see a conversation where a man is asked, would you date a woman outside of what is quote unquote the norm or the standard or anything like that. Men are not asked those dumbass questions. It's always the woman.
Hey.
Go ahead.
Ring the bell. Ding, 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 ding. Ring the bell.
I didn't got pissed. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Easy.
Yo.
Do you want your 2 minutes before we send her to the council?
I ain't even gonna take 2 minutes.
We send her to the council's office, Jack. Do you want your 2 minutes?
I ain't even gonna take. I ain't even gonna be 2 minutes. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be real quick.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Every time these conversations come up, man, I always say the same thing. I'm glad I ain't out there. Gotta hear all that shit. Gotta deal with all that shit and everybody's judgment and everybody's standards and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? So other than that, though, man, you know what I mean? Hey, shout out to the bus driver, shout out to the truck driver, shout out to the owners. You know what I'm saying? Hey, because at the end of the day, the nigga that's whipping the bus could be more happy than the motherfucker that's on the private jet and the motherfucker that's with him. So that's all I got to say. Do your thing, John.
No. Get out the way, Heezy, because you friendly with us. Send her to the counselor's goddamn office. I got 2 minutes and here I go.
We in recess.
First and foremost, Iyanla Van Zant spoke from a larger perspective, because in the black community right now, that's why it's all this bullshit with, you know what I'm saying? Oh, he a bus driver, I wouldn't date him. And this coming from a nigga that was the bus driver and became the bus owner. You dig what I'm saying? First and foremost, let me say, to each their own. But if you look at Ebony's background and even what she had to say on Envy's, she had a debate with Envy. She been spewing that bullshit. And I think Iyanla was just speaking overall for the black community. You dig what I'm saying? Would you date a bus driver? Okay, he drive a bus, but is he this? Is he that? You got a lot of black women right now that's kind of detrimental to the black community, because they looking at it like, if he ain't the bus owner and he the bus driver, well, let me back up. What little mama, the bus driver not looking at you because you just a news anchor. Everybody got their standards, and it's cool to each their own. But first and foremost, the first thing she said was, I've dated over all spectrums. So that means you done dated the bus driver, the bus owner, and you done did all that. And they still don't find you suitable to settle down with. So it might not be them, it might be you. You dig what I'm saying? That's the problem. My thing is, when you get all these people that get on TV and they say, okay, well, hey, look, now he gotta have this, he gotta have that. It's cool. Everybody should have their standards. You dig what I'm saying? But then again, if your standards based off of, oh, he driving the bus, he might like driving the bus. He might be $1 million mentality type dude that have 30 things going on, but he have a passion for driving the bus because he want to get people home safe. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think what Ayana was doing was she was checking that bullshit because social media.
Ayana wasn't doing that.
Well, social media done brainwash these women into thinking that, oh, we got to have these certain type of educated men and all that. I have a GED. I also have multi-million-dollar companies that I employ people that have bachelor's degrees, that have other degrees, and they come ask me questions, and they went to school all these years, and I went to penitentiary at 17 years old.
Ask you this,
so,
Josh.
hold on. Let me finish because you had your 2 minutes. Now, listen, what I'm saying is I think Ayana was just checking her to say, hey, man, quit spewing this bullshit. Quit talking out the side of your ass, because if you done dated everybody under the sun, including bus drivers, because you said it at the beginning of your rant, I done dated from all spectrums, white, black, bus drivers, bus owners. It ain't even them, it's you.
So
but first and foremost,
you couldn't have watched the interview that was.
I watched the interview that she had to try to clean that shit up that she went on with DJ Envy and Charlamagne. Well, hold on. She like, no, you had your 2 minutes, champ. Chill.
Okay, but I have a question.
She went on to another interview and she tried to clean it up. And when she did that interview, she said, well, I was just saying that you got to name it because you got so many people that think they can bring home D's and C's, and then they feel like they can go to CU and all this. No, we don't do that there. You dig what I'm saying? You just said some dumb shit because when she answered the question, you should have just, in matter of fact, she can answer the question how she want to answer.
Okay, so let me
I can't. My 2 minutes ain't up yet. I still got a couple of more seconds. Just chill.
Okay.
The internet is undefeated. So when you say dumb shit on the internet, you're gonna get ate up. You dig what I'm saying? And let me go back to what I said. To everybody, to each their own. You can have standards. But if you start out saying I done dated all these people, that means you done standardized your dating pool and you still didn't make it out. You dig what I'm saying? So maybe it's not them, it's you. But at the end of the day, just answer this question simply. Hey, look, man, I love a bus driver, but that's not where I'm at right now. I don't want to, but don't try to shit on them and make it like, oh no, I wouldn't do that because and then you go on the interview.
The way her body language and everything that was wrong, but she's not wrong for having her dating preference.
She's not. I just said, hold on. I just said at the beginning that everybody to each their own. But if you go look at her and what she's been doing over time, this wasn't her first time. You know what I'm saying? She been spearing that bullshit. So Ayana was just checking her based off of her page.
She wasn't spearing bullshit. The conversation wasn't even what Iyanla Vanzant took the conversation to.
No.
It's just like if you
clip.
ask me, Deasia, would you date this certain person? And I say no, I have a right to say no. I have a right to say there's a certain type of man that I won't date. You know what I'm saying? And it's like all of a sudden it goes into this thing. She wasn't on Iyanla Vanzant for her to fix her life. So it shouldn't even turned into my thing was I'm staying focused on what the conversation was.
I think hold on. Let me say this right quick because you interrupted my 2 minutes. I think that conversation spilled over because prior to this, Ebony has been saying some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? This wasn't her first time. And I think Ayana, what she was doing was she was kind of stepping in.
Why do people care? Like people say she's saying bullshit, and the thing is, what people saying is bullshit is because this is a black woman that said this is what she want and this is what she want. If that's what she want, why do you care so much about?
No, this is a black woman. Hold on. This is a black woman.
She don't want to date no bus driver.
No, this is a black woman who made the statement of, okay, it's like black men, y'all are y'all settling. Y'all mediocre right now, and y'all want us. She been saying that type of shit. So this wasn't her first time saying the shit. That's what I'm trying to get you to understand. So when
what I'm trying to get you to understand, that part don't matter because that's not the conversation we're having.
But if Ayanna is an advocate for black families and she an advocate for black relationships and she an advocate for black men, she gotta check her when she's saying some low-key bullshit and tell her, hey, look, what you woo woo woo. Well, why wouldn't you? Because this
that's bullshit. It's like I guess everybody you know, their social cues and the way they be able to comprehend and the way that they'll be able to actually compartmentalize and focus on what's going on. If you're focusing on what's going on and you just looking at that clip, because all that other stuff, when you talking about what she did in the past or whatever the case may be, that's really you're having an emotional response to what you're seeing.
No.
And you're bringing everything together. You
are
because we're talking about recess is a clip. All of this other stuff or whatever, that has absolutely nothing to do with that. We're talking about this clip. All of this other stuff, there is a way to make it an emotional thing and validate a point. If we're looking at the clip and we're looking at what happened in that conversation, Iyanla Vanzant was wrong as fuck the way she went about it, even if she was trying to throw her under the bus because of some things she had heard about her in the past. In this conversation, this ain't that. We talking about something totally different. So why in the fuck you acting like I done came on your show, Iyanla? I ain't come on Iyanla Vanzant Fix My Life, bitch. You on Griots, and I'm having an interview and I'm interviewing you, but now you done started asking me questions, trying to make me, you actually trying to shit on me, and to quiet as it's kept, Iyanla Vanzant is the one that's shitting on the bus driver. Because why the fuck did you use the bus driver as the Lord's example of what a woman could choose from? So if anybody's shitting on the bus driver, it's in Iyanla Vanzant wide mouth ass. You get what I'm saying? Because that's just like if a nigga, like, let's keep it all the way a buck right now. That's just like right now, I'm a big girl, right? I'm not what America or society, quote unquote, or say is the beauty standard or whatever the case may be, simply because I'm a plus size woman, right? So if that is the case, why, if somebody say, hey, you know what, I don't want to date no big girl, they have that they have a right to have that preference or whatever the case may be. But why drill somebody and be like, well, you gotta date this person or whatever the case may be, and that's just not your preference. That didn't have shit to do with shit. You get what I'm saying? And then let's keep it a buck. A fucking bus driver is not what somebody would consider to be their preference. When you're thinking about your preference is one thing. Your ability to be able to compromise and be realistic is another thing. My preference is a 6'5" nigga, about 260 pounds, pretty white teeth, black as a motherfucker, big old beard, long ass trunk, dick in the front, all that shit. That's my preference, right? Realistically, most men are about 5'9", 5'10", 5'11". I'm not gonna not talk to a nigga that's 5'10" because my preference is a nigga that's 6'5". So just because she said, hey, I won't date this bus driver, but I date somebody that works for the bus. The problem that I have,
hold on.
The problem I have with black men is y'all not finna.
I wouldn't date the bus driver, but I date the bus owner. So again, what I said was Ayanna was just.
Why do she have to?
Listen. The bus owner might be a bullshit ass nigga who cheated, got no morals, no principles, no none shit. So what you doing is you telling black women is don't go look for the man that has the shit that you need. Go look for him for where he at in life. I'm talking from the bus driver that became the bus owner. You dig what I'm saying? So Ayanna was just checking her for past shit. Hold on, let's chill. I just let you talk. Listen, you got two mouths. Listen. You got two mouths. I mean, you got two ears and one mouth. If you do more talking than you do listening,
no, because that's bullshit. Because men is different. With men, it's already
not different.
Women are told that about 34, 35 years old, we're past our prime because we're too young. You're saying all of that.
Women told that shit.
Like, just say for instance, a 40-year-old man, when a man get rich, he gonna go try to 9 times out of 10, he gonna get him a young woman.
That's not a man.
So
when a man get rich, a man gonna get somebody that he love, can cherish, and can be loyal to.
You a goddamn liar.
Social media done told you. Hold on, let me ask you something. Are you single, married, or are you just in a relationship?
Am I single, married, or just in a relationship?
Yeah.
That ain't none of your business, because that's the same shit Iyanla Van Zant did.
I'm asking the question.
And that's the same bullshit.
That's
been my whole point.
I'm asking the question.
Shit.
I just asked the question.
Van did.
Listen, no, I just asked the question.
School
I
post.
asked the question.
School post.
You did the same shit.
Recess over with. Listen. Recess over with.
The same shit Iyanla Van Zant did. That ain't have my personal business. That have shit to do with.
You right about what you said. Recess over with. Let's go. Iyanla, you fucked up and asked that question. Don't ask that question no more because they ain't ready for it. In Ebony, hey man, Iyanla seen what you had been saying and she trying to correct your shit. You know what I'm saying? So listen, we all wrong. Let's go to the school post.
That's wrong.
Okay, this week's school post is Swiss Beats is overrated as fuck as a producer. I
agree.
That's crazy to me.
Swiss Beats.
I agree. 100%.
Now, DH, we be bumping heads, but this time let's ride down on Heezy because you full of shit. You disagree. I mean, you agree with that?
I agree. I always thought he was overrated. He got a few hits here and there. You know what I'm saying?
These Detroit niggas just say anything doing the night.
He ain't no. I ain't never liked a lot of his shit.
Swiss
Beats. He had one period. He had a few years where he was on top and doing some top notch shit. Other than that, what he done did?
Swiss Beats.
Swiss Beats. Yeah. Tell him.
Listen.
Tell him. He had like a 4-5-year run.
Listen, he left his wife and went and married Alicia Keys. That was a boss move in itself.
What that got to do with what that got to do with
you be saying the silliest shit.
No, I'm outside. But come on, man. No, Swiss Beats, come on now. He kind of
had a 5-year run. If that
man, Swiss Beats. Now we ain't talking now. Swiss Beats.
What do you have outside that 5-year run?
When you speak of hip hop and you got your Dr. Dre's,
yeah, he ain't up there.
You go to man, he in the top 5. Swiss Beats. He's like the
hell no.
What?
Nah, hell no. Nah.
Do you not know he kind of cornered the sound in New York? Swiss Beats did.
And it was all them keyboard synthesized ass sounds that didn't last. You know what I'm saying? You see, it didn't last. It didn't last. It didn't.
Hold on. Let me see. No.
Like I said, give me something outside that 5-year run that he was doing.
Watch this here. I gotta go. Listen, Swiss Beats. I gotta go. Listen. Because it was more than hip hop. Swiss Beats. He responsible for a lot of shit. Now, I'm gonna give you. Listen.
Like I said, and a lot of that shit he was doing, like I said, I wasn't really fucking with it.
And whatever he was responsible for, it don't sound memorable. But
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
he did a lot of that Rough Rider shit.
I think just be trying to jump ship and go against me.
You had Jay-Z.
I'm not trying to go
he had a few Jay-Z tracks that was nice.
Just because I don't think what he did was memorable, I don't think that he's overrated because I don't even think he get highlighted like that anyway. So
watch this here. Do you not realize Swiss Beats like had for the East Coast when they was in a prime and doing their thing, they had to go through Swiss Beats to get.
I just said a 5-year run.
You making it seem like everybody the nigga that they had to go through. Fat Joe, not Swiss Beats.
Fat Joe, yeah, I'm saying like y'all be forgetting who they had to go through. Look at Swiss Beats.
This nigga talking like everybody Michael Jordan or something like. These niggas done won rings.
Listen.
Go through. Like this nigga had to go through this nigga to win a ring.
No, this the thing. The niggas that y'all talking about are considerably like the Michael Jordans of their era or the Michael Jordans of their generic. You know what I'm saying?
You a goddamn lie.
Oh my
God. That's a like
Timberland was better than Swiss Beats at that time.
Reality, like you in a parallel universe.
You said Timberland was better than Swiss Beats?
Hell
at that time, hell yeah, he was.
So you're not saying they was equal, they had the same type of motion.
Pharrell was better than Swiss Beats. Nigga.
Oh my Jesus. This nigga
I can keep going. Nigga, there's a lot of motherfuckers that was better than Swiss Beats
at
that time.
Hold on, let me ask you this here.
Better than Swiss Beats.
Let me ask you this here. So why did all those artists that work with Swiss Beats, Beyonce, DMX, Jay-Z,
maybe DMX a little bit,
Dragon, Fat Joe, Cassidy, Rick Ross, all the artists, all the mainstream artists.
He had shit to do with Rick Ross. He had shit to do with Rick Ross being Rick Ross.
Swiss Beats never worked with Rick Ross?
I ain't say that. I'm saying he ain't had shit to do with Rick Ross being Rick Ross.
if he wasn't the man, why did all these mainstream artists work with him?
They done work with a lot of motherfuckers.
This must be one of this gotta be one of Josh people.
Man, listen. When you mainstream and you got a big name, you already got a fan base and all that there, and you trying to keep your fan base up. And you trying to keep, you trying to generate another hit. You just don't go mess with anybody.
What was the hit?
We're not talking about local artists. We're talking about big artists that's trying to get another hit to keep their bills paid, to keep their name relevant. Why would you go mess with somebody that's not who he is?
What was the hit?
What was the hit? Let me name off some of them.
You can't name it off top, so like that's the thing. Like this, we ain't got time.
He got so many. He got so many.
But if he got so many, you could name
I'm
one.
talking about the one.
I
was just talking about the one with Rick Ross. That's what I was talking about. Because that's the one he had brought up. You feel what I'm saying? This was probably just some shit on the album that he had just produced for Rick Ross. You know what I'm saying?
What year do you want me to start it? What year do you want me to start it?
No, we ain't about to go down no list of hits. I was just asking.
Oh, okay. I'm just asking because, like, what do you want me to start? I gotta go get a list. He got so many. I gotta go.
I told you at the beginning. I told you at the beginning.
But you can't name one off the top.
No.
Hey,
what I learned early on
at the beginning. I told you at the beginning. He had about a 5-year run that he was doing this thing.
What I learned early on
outside of that, ain't outside of that.
I gotta be factual and it gotta be official. So sometimes I get over here and I make sure when I go to talking, it's all facts. I ain't just talking out the side of my ass. So when you saying what you saying, I'm gonna step over here. I'm gonna say, okay, let me make sure, because the people that's watching, they want facts. So when I step over here, I want to come back with facts. And if you're right, I'm gonna say, damn, I said the wrong shit.
Josh, I get that, but also if somebody asks, like, if you could name a hit that somebody dropped, then if they actually got hits like you say they do, then you should
name a fabulous hit.
You should name a fabulous hit. Get a fact.
Name a fabulous hit.
Shit, the one with
Lil Mo.
No, I say name the hit, not the person he was with. Name the hit.
I ain't think of the song.
I don't know.
See, your mind don't work fast, so sometimes you got to go get. I got to, you know what I'm saying?
Well,
you just said,
I'm not. But
Fabulous got many hits.
On the Van Zant because we ain't talking about Fabulous or none of that.
I ain't no Fabulous fan.
Listen. Because we talking about because we on the Cinco De Mayo show. And Fabulous got a lot of hits. When you just said, "Oh, you don't have to do that. You should be able to name it off the top of your head." I just said Fabulous in for the Cinco de Mayo show, and the fact that he got a lot of hits. So if that was the case, Fabulous got a lot of hits. You were supposed to be able to name a Fabulous hit from your logic off the top of
like what you're not gonna do, is try to throw some things back and you be like, oh, you were able to, and when you got done coming up with that manipulative ass shit to sway the people, you still ain't named the hit. You had more. You in that time that you thought about to do.
I could go with DMX and Rough Riders alone.
I can name the Swiss Beats hits.
The Rough Riders anthem. The Rough Riders anthem.
I can name
alone from way back then.
Josh,
it still got motion to this day. No, we gonna go.
Quit playing like you really
the Rough Riders anthem
on your phone.
No. Listen.
I can name some myself. I can.
Do you want me to go to some? Listen. Do you want me to go to some Eve shit? Because I just use DMX Rough Riders anthem because to this day that's still one of the. I'm talking about anywhere you go. Stop. Drop.
Doing this thing.
That beat. Boom. So I just use that because like
he did his thing for a minute. He did his thing for a minute. But like somebody say in the comments, you say Swiss owns multiple. What does it say? Multiple helicopters. Yeah, I agree with that. Because he had some major hits. The hits that he did have, them bitches was made. He worked with Jay-Z, DMX,
hold on.
Rough Riders, all that shit. We had some major hits.
You said
outside of that, he ain't shit.
You said Timberland was better than Swiss Beats. Who is responsible for the verses? Who? Timberland and who?
Swiss Beats.
What that?
Okay, so those are pioneers of the culture.
He a good businessman. He a good businessman for sure.
Okay. Let's go. Where we headed to next, man? Y'all win.
We're going to the truth.
Y'all got me again. Supreme, look, they getting me. You got to come help me.
Well, shit, you get he eat you up too.
Hey, like you say, this man, I hit that.
Y'all make sure y'all subscribe, like the video. Let's get into this hip hop trivia question. So, This hip hop trivia question is: who was the first Latino artist to go platinum? I'm gonna say Pitbull.
It's a tricky one though. This is a tricky.
I'm gonna say Kid Frost.
Everybody think it's one certain answer. I'm surprised y'all ain't said it. Anybody got nothing in the comments?
Hold on. Is it a group or
is it a rap group?
Hey, it's the
is
first.
Is it rap? Is it rap?
Yeah, it's rap. It's rap. It's rap.
No, is it a group or is it a solo artist?
Hey,
shit.
Cypress Hill.
What's the nigga with the patch?
Nigga with the patch. So you talking about Slick Rick?
Rick the Ruler? Slick Rick?
The Ruler, yeah.
That nigga ain't no
Latino.
Hell no. That nigga British.
Now, what was that song back in the game?
Hey, all right, so check it out. My man, somebody, that's Mellow Man Ace or some shit like that. But somebody say Big Pun. So check this out, right? Big Pun is the first solo rapper to go platinum. But technically, the first Latino rapper to go platinum is Be Real and Sin Dog from Cypress Hill, because they went platinum.
I said Cypress Hill while ago. I said Cypress Hill.
Yeah, you got it.
I said Cypress Hill because, like, on the West, they did have a big following because, like, first and foremost, they was 420 friendly, and then they did come out with a lot of good hits. You know what I'm saying? Like Cypress Hill, they
got a huge following. You know what I'm saying?
Man, they got a bad following. So a lot of people disregard them from the early 90s, and then it spilled over because, like, they was highly regarded in the lowrider community. You know what I'm saying? So they had a lot of timeless hits, and they stayed relevant over time. So I got it partially right.
Hey, fun fact though. Fun fact, man. Cypress Hill, I think it was their first album. That was the first tape. I bought that bitch on cassette. That was the first tape I ever bought. First rap tape I ever bought. It was that motherfucker was a bootleg. I was at a picnic and shit. Motherfuckers walking around with a big ass case. You know what I'm saying? The bootleg cassettes and shit. That was the first. I probably was about 10, 11 years old. Bought Cypress Hill. That was the first cassette I ever bought.
You fucked up, Hazy. You fucked up. I ain't never argued with you no more. The first cassette you bought from a hip hop album was from Hispanics.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Nigga, when they first came out, nigga, them niggas. I said they went platinum. They went platinum back then.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna go back.
Texas ain't said none. It ain't no but the Hispanics running.
Hey, if you don't get your ain't man looking at ain't man. Ain't mine.
Cypress, hey, shout out to all the, you know what I'm saying, the Hispanics, man, the Puerto Ricans, Mexicans, you know what I mean? Cinco de Mayo doing your motherfucking thing. Make sure y'all check us out during the week, man. We got Homeroom Live popping off during the week. We got Deska DeAsia that join the network, you know what I'm saying? So make sure y'all stay tuned in, man. You know what I mean?
Thank y'all so much for tuning in. We're about to tune
in. Hey man, until our co-host, man, Supreme Ra, let me say this. He had a spill this week, man. He fell off a motorcycle. He was in New York with the Rough Riders. He was riding a motorcycle and he fell off and he hurt his arm. So y'all pray for Supreme, you know what I'm saying, to get better because he went on a Hayabusa and put his arm up. So man, hey man, stay strong. Hope your arm get better, man. Next time, don't be trying to do wheelies with the Rough Riders in New York and shit. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
What high school be say? Zoom, zoom.
The Hip Hop School. Time, past and present podcast.